Hey there, we are back with some more Let's Try. This time we're playing a game called InfraSpace. So this game, I think I played this game on my channel before, if I'm not mistaken, when it was still in early access. But now, the version 1 of the game is finally out. So I came in to check it out yet again. I played some of it just off camera to get, get the gist of the game, if there were any changes and stuff. So for the first video of this game, I would try my best to like explain the gist of the game, how it plays, and maybe if they and then for the first part, I would have a fresh run, explain to you how the game goes. Sorry for that, but anyway, explain to you how the game goes, how what do you call this? How what is the gist of the game, how you play, and maybe for the middle part of the video, or maybe through the end, I will take you to some of the milestones in my my own gameplay world in order to try to explain in order to try to show you like the different parts of the game, especially in the later parts of the game. And if it is successful, I will continue playing and maybe updating you on the different things that I've discovered throughout the game. So yeah, InfraSpace. So InfraSpace is a city builder mixed with like an automation game, like a game of Factorio. And you know what? It's better to just go through a game, go through the game, and explain it to you as we go over here. So yeah, I'm just gonna play everything on default. But if you want to play it on your own, there's a creative mode over here, so you can try to what do you call this? Try to experiment some stuff over here on your own. And you know what, let's just go choose a map. Let's go for a randomly generated map, and let's start the game. There's an intro over here, but the gist is
our civilization.
You know what, I'm just gonna let it play,
2351, scientists created the first warp drive,
and I'm just gonna
kicking
increase the
off a
volume
race
just a bit here.
for the stars. As the population expanded on Earth, the rise of exocolonies allowed humans to take life beyond natural boundaries. But technology, like humans, is fallible. The passenger ship Antares was carrying thousands of colonists when a pressure valve overheated
Rip.
and failed, changing the destination of the warp jump.
So yeah, this is
Light years from home, the damaged ship now sits stranded. The crew lacks the materials necessary to repair Antares, but a nearby exoplanet is looking promising. Neper 3, a
yes.
planet with plenty of mineral deposits on the surface. In order to survive, they need to establish a settlement here and start mining for resources. It was human ingenuity that got them this far, and to continue on this journey, they will have to rely on it once more. The mission will not be easy, but it's their only hope.
So yeah, that is basically the gist of the game. Our soul, exploit another planet and build up our city in order to fix our ship. So yeah, I hope that. So if this is your type of game, I'm gonna put the links in the description below. Following a serious accident in space, the spaceship Antares is in serious condition. It now orbits Neper 3, an uninhabited planet. Your goal is to establish a colony, find the resources. Happy playing. So yeah, this is our map over here that we get to exploit. And we have, I'm gonna try to explain all the different tabs over here later, but this is the map that we are going to exploit, and this is the same map, if I'm not mistaken, that I tried before. So this game is, first of all, we have roads here. It is a city builder, so if you're familiar with the city builder types of games, you are going to be familiar with this. So let's just put some roads over here. So there is like an objective map over here up the upper right corner. and you get to see what your next step is. So first of all, it says here you can build a road next to sulfur. So this is sulfur here. And then we could, if you want to have a grid, you can have a grid. You can have no grid if you want. If you want free form, if you have want a 45-degree grid, you can. Or let's just go with a basic grid for now. So let's just place a road over here and let's build a mine. So this is one of our first resource here. Go to the mines over here, build a sulfur mine. You can use Q and E to rotate. And you need to have a road connecting it. So I'm just gonna place it here. And then this would mine some sulfur for us every few seconds. And then let's also add some sand mines. These are basic resources over here. And lastly, let's build a concrete factory. So the resources over top here are the ones that you need to have. You have two basic building resources. You have a concrete and you have steel. So in order to make concrete, you need to have a concrete factory. So let's just place you right over here. And then for our power, as a usual city builder, let's just place a singular wind turbine and let's connect the power with a power pole. And as you can see, the yellow area is the amount of things that is powered. So how does this game work? So it is like an automation game wherein like resources over here would be transported through these trucks like so, goes through these trucks and goes to a concrete factory. So as you can see here in the production, you can see it requires 1 sulfur, 1 sand, and for every 10 seconds it would produce 5 concrete. So as you can see, we have sand, sulfur, and now it's creating some concrete over here. So these produces 1 sulfur every 5 seconds, and this produces 1 sand every 5 seconds. So if you want to have 100% efficiency on your stuff, you could do so. Also take note, you need to take note of the travel time over here. So the roads function as conveyor belts, and they produce some stuff. And now let's go for a material storage over here, just to, transport all of these things to a storage facility. So similar to a city builder, one of the problems that you might encounter here are like traffic, and that is the one main limiting factor of this game, is to manage all the traffic. So let's just place some roads over here. So it costs some concrete to build these roads, so it's really good if you need to place some concrete over here. So as you have noticed, aside from concrete, steel, there's also traffic flow percentage here. This is really useful. It shows you if there are any traffic jams that are happening in any intersection. So we have steel here, a more advanced resources. We have power, so we're generating 20 power right now and we're utilizing 4. We have the number of jobs here. This is where the city builder aspect comes in. We have jobs, we have population, and we have the amount of housing over here. So right now, each of these requires some people to work with. So because these are not automated, as you can see, there are random people showing here, just crossing their arms. So this utilizes provides 2 jobs. This provides 4 jobs, and this doesn't provide any job here. So how do we get more people? Well, we build a basic habitat like so. And what does the basic habitat need? It needs oxygen, because this planet doesn't have its own natural oxygen just yet. In the later parts of the game, we can terraform, but I haven't reached that game in my own playthrough yet, so I can't explain to you. But maybe in the future, if you want, maybe I could play some more of this off camera and just try to play in the next show you in the next video my progress here and try to explain some things. Anyway, let's build a spaceport over here, and let's not forget, connect some of these things with some power. So this thing provides oxygen and carbon for our basic habitat over here. So this needs oxygen, so every time it creates oxygen, it will deliver from this point to this point. What I like about this game is, like, every time you click a vehicle, you could see the destination here, so you could see what path they're traveling. So yeah, let's go to the very interesting factor of this game, and it is its road what do you call this, road traffic management here. Also the spaceport. This spaceport allows people from our spaceship, like over here, our destroyed spaceship, to actually go to the planet and live here and provide some jobs. So as you can see, we have space for 30 people over here. We only have 20. So this would provide 10 people, immigrants ready to move in. And now it will, for the next few days, we will have more people in order to create more jobs. In order to fulfill our jobs here. Anyway, so what's really interesting here is how the road system works. So let's just place some roads here. So I'm gonna try to explain. So for the roads, you can really manage the road system over here. So if you click on an intersection, you get to see all the different types of roads that you can do. So for example, like over here, let's just say in this intersection, let's say we don't want this this road over here to flow here. So you can just delete that like so. So right now, any car that goes through here will not be able to go to the right. So you could manage your traffic wisely. So similar to this, if you don't want any disturbance on the road, let's just say we want a road like that and like that. Yeah, you can totally do that. So there's no way for cars from this road to go to this road, and vice versa. Similar to here, as you can see. However, you can also modify this. Let's say you want to have a traffic light instead. So you could literally what do you call this? You could literally have your own traffic light system in this game, and you could change the delays of the traffic light. You could literally just reduce this amount and add some more stuff over here. So for every phase you get, to have your own traffic light, so you could micromanage everything over here. Here is the yield, so you could have some priority for the yield system. You could have some priority which roads would yield and which roads are given priority. So for the yield system, basically if one car wants to go through this, comes from a certain angle, like from here, these two would give way. So if you want to prioritize certain lanes, that is useful. Or you could just remove everything and just focus on these road connections, which is pretty good. So yeah, anyway, let's continue over here. There is also research that you could utilize to get some more stuff. And let's have Blue Sands Pack Factory. So if you're familiar with automation games, this would become very familiar to you. So for the Blue Sands Pack Factory, it requires crude oil and carbon. So the carbon is coming from here. As you can see, it is traveling. And now, as you've noticed, these guys are not using this road because I did not let them utilize this road. But if you want to, we can just do this, and later they would be able to go from here to here. And let's get some crude oil extractor over here, and let's place it maybe over here. And let's have some research. So this is the research tree over here. You could utilize the blue research to get some farming done. And as in the later parts of the game, you get some trains, you get some more lane roads, highways, more aesthetic stuff, more pipes. And yeah, we can also place a sign over here. So let's say we want to have a really huge sign. Let's place that cheese cake cactus. Let's change the font size into a smaller one, and then let's just do it like that. So once they reach the space, they get welcomed by this. You can also change the font if you really want to, like that, which is really interesting. Oh, I forgot. Let's place some power over here. Place some power over here, like so, and that should be able to let us. What I really like about this game is, even though everything is like minimalist in aspect, there's some mini animations here and there. So yeah, later parts you get some steel mills which require a lot of stuff. You get some industry over here which require even more complicated stuff. So basically this is like a flow chart. Also, I forgot, as you can see here, we have 100% efficiency. So how do you want to grow this efficiency? So basically, if you've seen the production over here, this requires 1 sulfur, 1 sand. If you place these buildings close to their prerequisite prerequisite generators over here, like these two, they would have an increased efficiency. So you are incentivized, as you can see, if I place them closer, you get that plus 10% and plus 10%. So as you can see, you are incentivized to place buildings that require that required resources that are produced by other buildings close together. So you can see this is producing 120% efficiency. And then let's say we want to increase the efficiency of our blue sands pack factory. We can place them nearby crude oil because this requires crude oil, or maybe we can place it near the atmosphere processor because that provides the carbon. So yeah, you could plan out some city blocks over here, like maybe you could place like one area over here just producing blue sands pack things, and you could lay it out that you get the maximum efficiency if you want. So that is the basic gist. As you go throughout the game, you get more complicated flowcharts, but the gist is the same. One building produces a resource, another building refines the resource, which goes to another building until you reach like the later parts of the game. So that is the gist of the game. And what is the main factor is the main factor in bottlenecking your stuff is, aside from production, is your traffic flow management. So if you're into those games, especially in city builders, it is fun. Anyway, I'm gonna jump back to a save of a game that I have played to show you like maybe a few hours in game. So let me just be right back. And we are back with a game that I have played. In this save file, I'm going to show you how traffic could possibly destroy your workflow. As you can see, you have 76% here, and I have organized this save file with like some areas that are grouped together. So for example, in this area over here, let's just play the game. This area over here is focused on concrete factory. We have some sand mines, we have some sulfur mines, and they just flow through this area over here and through this concrete factory. And the concrete factory goes around and goes to this resource over here. As you can see, we have a major traffic jam over here, and let's try to solve that later. So basically, this game is just trying to solve out traffic problems. So if you are a good city planner, you could probably build this out. So I tried to become as organized as possible in this save. So in this area, we have our steel production over here. We have some iron mines. We have some steel mills. Steel mills require iron ore, water, and carbon. So that's why I placed a water air filter and an atmosphere processor over here. So these guys are doing very efficient stuff. I could have placed iron mine nearby, but that would just complicate some things. And the result of this is going through all the way around to the storage over here. And then over here, I made some blue sands pack factory with some crude oil extractor. You have seen this before. And some atmosphere processors. And here is our habitats. And what I've done here is I placed all the habitats over here, research over here, and then here is one basic thing that I've researched. It's a simple farm. It's one of the first things you will research over here. And here is what I've researched so far in this save file. So what is the use of the simple farm? So as you have noticed, whenever you place like a basic habitat, you get to see oxygen, water, survival food. So the things above here are the needs that needs to be met in order for this building to house some people. And then the needs below the bar is the needs that requires to upgrade this habitat. So as you can see, this habitat looks totally different from this. This houses 12 people, this houses only 10. So in order for a habitat to level up, it must require the levels of the requirements below the bar over here. So this requires water and survival food that I have provided. So that's why it upgraded into the next level of the habitat. So it's now a decent habitat instead of a basic one. So that requires survival food and water. So the survival food is produced by these farms over here, which require water. That is why I placed them beside the water air filter. And they provide food to our people. Anyway, let's continue with trying to solve our problems over here. So as you've noticed, all of these delivery trucks are trying to go to the storage, small material storage, which is causing a lot of traffic in this flow over here. So how do we solve that? Well, pretty simple. Let's just place another material storage, like maybe here instead. Let's try to place them on the road, on the right side of the road, so we could avoid left turns. Because if we place them over here, the cars from this side would need to turn to the left side over here, which would cause traffic in this lane. So let's try our best to avoid those left turns. So that is one tip in this run here. So if we place them here, these cars would now go through here instead of going through the main highway. Similarly, these concrete cars would need to flow all the way around. So if I just place them over here, that would reduce the traffic. So if we fast forward this, one of my favorite aspects in any game, this traffic would slowly clear up, and then all of these materials would travel. So as you can see, the line over here is slowly diminishing, and all of the cars providing all the steel mills are going through this instead. So yeah, we are slowly increasing our traffic flow over here, and all the concrete is not going here anymore, which is pretty nice. And we are slowly connecting here. Also, in this save, I've started creating some green sand packs over here, like all of the next level of the science packs. And as you can see, they have their own little animations whenever they are producing. So for the green science pack, like there's a very subtle light over here that is going around. And then the chemical slab produces chemicals. So as you can see, this is a way more complicated version. It requires sand, aluminum, chemicals, and blue science packs. So you're incentivized to actually group these together, but I tried not to group everything together to avoid so much traffic. And all of the resources are spread out, so you could plan it out accordingly if you want. So yeah, as you can see, the traffic has has improved to 100% yet again, just because I placed some of these storage areas accordingly and appropriately. So we could delete these now, because my goal in this run is to have this main highway be undisturbed over here. So yeah, that is one tip. Also, you know what? I'm just gonna place them over here instead, in order to facilitate better flow of traffic over here. So yeah, these are things that are pretty much the gist of the game. As you can see, from simple processes, by just having this, we are improving to more complicated stuff. And then I'm placing some areas here for some expansions. And yeah, that is the gist of the game. The next save that I will load up over here is a more late game, maybe a few hours or so in the game. So if you don't want to be spoiled, stop watching this video right now and play the game for yourself. If you're alright to be spoiled, then go ahead through the video, and yeah, I will see you once I will load the video. Okay, this video is all over the place, but at least I will try to show you my current situation in this save file, so at least you would see the progress over here. So if you're enjoying this video, maybe in the next video, if this video becomes successful, in this video I will show you like transition from this part of the game to later parts of the game. So yeah, so as you can see here, it might seem familiar. It is still the same concrete factory. I just expanded it here, and just instead of 2-lane roads, we are now with concrete roads, which are 4 lanes. So that increases the volume of the traffic that can go through. And as you can see, for our main road, I changed it into a highway. So a highway is special, is different from the main roads, and it does not connect to buildings. So you can only use this for flow. And as you can see, the difference in speed, this is so fast. Well, to be debris is going to destroy this road, but it doesn't matter. There's no maintenance here anyway. So as you can see, also in this save, I have upgraded the construction material storage to become more like it to become larger in order to facilitate more traffic flow. Similarly, in this area, I've expanded my steel production over here, which is nice. But the difference is, in this run, I've also expanded my research over here. So as you can see, I'm producing more green research. And lastly, as you can see, I've also added a lay-by over here in order to facilitate traffic flow, because if I would have connected this road over here like so, that would cause a lot of traffic for everybody. So yeah, tips for planning from... I'm just utilizing all the knowledge that I have gone from my planning in my architecture degree here. So usually when you plan roads, there are main highways like so, and then you get smaller roads like a smaller one-way. Usually it's one-way highway, but I was too lazy to actually change that to a one-lane highway in order to escape from the main road, and then get some avenues, a really big main road over here, and lastly split them off like so, and have even very cheap roads even in the next few roads over here. And this is where you place all your buildings. This is called road hierarchy, and that is basically how you should plan out your entire run over here. Anyway, let's go through here slowly, so I will not try I will not overwhelm you. So over here, as you can see, we've also enhanced our blue science factory, and our city has grown. So as you can see, our population over here is 764, and they are in a very high level. It's a residential building now. As you can see, from oxygen, water, survival, food, it now requires home, appliance, computer, and a park. And I haven't gone through this level just yet. And as you can see, from 10 people, it now can house 24 people. So down here is our water, air generation, and our farms as usual, but I have expanded them. And then, as you have noticed, these guys are not producing any vehicles. You might be wondering, how, what? So this game has a feature called pipes, similar to any game. So pipes they cost steel, so they're much more expensive than cars, but the pipes would have a direct access to the source towards the demand over here. Also, we unlock 6 lane roads. Hooray. Now I could utilize that. But yeah, these pipes, for example, the oxygen pipes, if you want to build some pipes over here connecting everything, it would provide all the needed resources directly from the source towards the destination without the use of cars. So if I would delete all of these pipes, they would just add to the traffic. So having direct access through piping is really useful when it comes to reducing the amount of traffic over here. You could unlock pipes relatively early, like maybe a few hours into the game, so you could utilize that. So there are some oxygen pipes, water pipes, and crude oil pipes, just to reduce the amount of traffic over here. And then I expanded over here to like this area over here. So at least I grouped this area so I could try to explain everything per group. So this is one of the first few complicated things that you would excuse me, that you would first need to craft over here. So this is the home appliances factory, which you would require to buff up your residential building. So this requires microchips, electronics, and plastic. So for the plastic factory, you just need crude oil. So that's why I placed them nearby. So this from crude oil to plastic to the home appliance. And then for the electronic, it requires iron and copper ore. So there are no nearby copper ores, so I just connected them to this area over here, which provides iron, and this area over here, which provides copper. So I know it would take a long time to travel, but given that we have highways, I don't really mind. And what I like about this game is like the very simple animations that they have whenever they're producing. So for the electronics factory, as I said before, just goes back and forth like this. And then for the home appliances factory, you can see it just flips up and down. For the crude oil extractor, you can see it just goes up and down, and all the simple animations here. For the plastic factory, it just gives up smoke, produces smoke and all these things. So that is it for this area over here. I haven't delved into trains just yet because I have not been able to have the time for it, but maybe by the next video. Let's just see here. But yeah, the next complicated thing, the next level that you are going to utilize is, as you can see here, it's a computer. So computers are located in the mid-tech industry over here. So this is the computer factory, which is much more complicated. So it needs plastic, microchip, and aluminum ore. So usually in the past, I would have just connected this area to the area over here. Like I could just literally just place you beside this area and they would provide plastic. But I wanted a more organized space over here. I have a lot of population, so might as well utilize that. So for this, as usual, I just provide some plastic factories and crude oil extractors to connect this area over here. And then for the aluminum ore, I just connected this to the source over here. I know it's far, maybe I could utilize trains later, but for now, I'm just gonna connect them through highways. The microchip factory, it requires electronics. We already know how that is made. And it requires sand. For the sand, I just connected this to the sand mines over here. And then, since this requires a lot of traffic, that is why I placed this lay-by over here to, to have some of that road hierarchy that I learned from class. Anyway, there's also some really interesting decorations that I've unlocked, like maybe fence. Maybe if you want to fence this out, like so. Oh, never mind. Like fence this out, and some road gates, just to add some aesthetic to the area. So let's just maybe place some multiple road gates over here if we really want to. So yeah, it's just for aesthetic stuff to make your everything look nice. What else did I add over here? Oh yeah, so you might be wondering, roads are really good for connecting spaces horizontally, but what about vertically? That is where in theory, let's say, because there are resources down here in this cliff that I want to utilize, but I can't place like maybe a road here to here because that is too steep. In reality, you can, if there's a will, there's a way. Like for example, I could just really slowly do this and just go down like that and down like that and connect every road right here to the resources down here, but that is not very efficient and cars would have a hard time. That is where this very early transport called cargo gondola over here. So this cargo gondola, how this works, this is a very expensive tower, but it is one of the best things to connect 2 points vertically. It's kind of like a cable car, as you can see. It just connects this lift to this cargo gondola here, and you provide them with roads because that is the main source. So if you want to connect things vertically, you could utilize the cargo gondolas if you are tired of placing roads. So why did I use this? Because there's methane in this area, and I needed methane to provide power to our methane power plant. In theory, I could have just placed the methane power plant over here to make it more efficient, but I wanted everything to be in this general area to make it, satisfying. As you can see, if I zoom out, you could really zoom out. You can see like the different areas connected to each other. And like that, I have power. So from the cargo gondolas, all the methane required will just travel out here through the highway and go to our methane power plant. So yeah, that is basically it for this video of InfraSpace. So this is a very interesting city builder mixed with automation game, and all the traffic management, all these things. And I know all the people there that are really into this game already made really complicated intersections to maximize the traffic flow, but I am not really made for that. I'm just trying my best to have my own interpretation with my own knowledge and with my own patience when it comes to building this game. There are mods for this game if you really want to add some quality of life mods here and there, but for now, that is it for InfraSpace. So I hope this video gave you an idea on what the game is, how the game plays, what's the objective, and how the game feels overall. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click that like button, subscribe if you want more, and be sure to check out my other videos as well. I upload new videos every day, and be sure to leave a comment. It helps the algorithm, and I will see you next time. See ya.